As we're being joined today to explore the complex issues is Oyiza Yakubu joining us, the Executive Director of Luna Foundation. Oyiza, good morning and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk about this disturbing phenomenon here where girls who have been repatriated by the Nigerian government choose to go back to Mali, a West African country. I'm sure it's not the destination. So exactly what is or why is Mali a hotbed for these young girls? What are they running from? Where are they going?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Okay, like the NIDCOM said, we need to tackle this issue from the source. You know, till now, most people don't believe human trafficking exists and people can be irregular migrated to other countries. Now, for example, these people that came back from Mali and from Libya and they returned is because they were not properly rehabilitated and reintegrated into the society. You know, in this our field, there's what we call the Stockholm Syndrome, where these people have been in this country for years. That is the only thing they know. These traffickers have brainwashed them. When you follow this traffickers movement online, when you try to see what they do, the propaganda they put online, they try to make Nigeria as a country that no one can stay. Like these girls, they make them believe that there's nothing happening in Nigeria. The only place they can succeed is either Mali or Libya. That's where they can get everything they need. So when you bring them back to Nigeria, there's no structure in Nigeria to actually reintegrate them back into the society. Now we have what we call the push factors. These are the factors pushing these girls to migrate in the first place. These are the factors pushing them to migrate in the first place. So these factors are not being handled. They are not being treated. Some people, it might be their aunts that actually push them to Mali. But when they bring them back to Nigeria, they send them back to that aunt. Definitely, they'll be re-trafficked. So you don't just bring people back home and start sending them back to what they are running away from. You have to give them a good structure to let them understand that, okay, you are back home now. These are the things to do. These are the things not to do. Some people are actually supposed to even be taken to rehabilitation centers because of their addiction to drugs, addiction to all these foreign substances, all these illegal substances. But we don't do that. Immediately they come back, after 2-3 days, we push them back into the society. The society, they don't know how to relate to it. So definitely, they run back to where they know.
Okay, Oyiza, I don't want you to go too far. I need you to please put in some gaps here, fill in some gaps here. Now, they're going to Mali, so apparently you're telling that Mali is the destination. What do they do when they get to Mali? What are they looking for? What kind of jobs are they getting in Mali that can't be had here?
Okay, now, so for some people that I've spoken to that came back from Mali, Mali was actually not the destination country. Some were lured by these agents. There are a couple of agents you see online that they tell you they can get you visa to some European countries where you can work as a maid. So they tell these girls that, okay, they don't accept Nigerian passports. The Nigerian passport is not allowed to fly, that they will not give them visa if they are with Nigerian passports, that they need to come to Mali first to get Mali passports before they can process the visa. Most of the girls, that is how they actually became victims. Some, they use scholarship schemes. Like when you look at these scholarship forms they give this girl, you think it's actually real. You can check the university online, it is legit. You can check their website, they have websites. You can even place a call to the university and everything looks so legit. So these girls might think, okay, yes, they are going for scholarships. They have to go to Mali to get a visa. They have to get to Mali to get a new passport. And when they get there, they notice that it is a trap. That is actually how they move most of these girls. This is how they move them to that place. But some people actually, they live deliberately. Like, yes, they know that they are going to Mali to go and work. They know they are going to Mali to go and work. But in most cases, most of these people are being lured there.
Oyiza, you earlier on when you were talking about the problems, you know, why they were repatriated, why they went back to Mali, you said something about the reintegration program and how it's flawed. And I'd like for you to speak on this, on what exactly the challenges are with the system. Just expatiate more. Is it that we're not doing enough? Is it that it's a lack of funding? Or is it that those who are in charge of the reintegration program do not have the right skills or understand what the girls will have to face in Nigeria when they come back?
Yes, the people in the system don't understand what these girls have passed through. I believe when it comes to reintegration, survival leaders should be allowed to handle it. Only we know what is going on. And these girls can only speak to us because they trust us. Now, from my own experience, when I came back to Nigeria, I was in another frame of mind entirely. I was depressed, I was sad, I was taking alcohol, and it was just my own determination and the support of friends that made me to recover and just stand on my 2 feet. When these girls are coming back, most of these people in charge of reintegration don't even know the right thing to do. They believe they understand. Yes, I know there are policies in places, but it's actually more practical. All these things are actually more practical. They need to first understand what these girls have experienced before they can provide solutions. Everything is not white and black. There are sometimes it has to be blue, sometimes it has to be purple. The way you reintegrate survivor A is not the way you reintegrate survivor B. It doesn't work that way. One single policies can't help this girl. So there has to be flexibility. And the only people that can actually handle this effectively are survival leaders. So I believe survival leaders should be put in that position to bring these girls back home and help them reintegrate properly. This is one of the ways we can actually prevent the trafficking.
Oyiza, can I call you a survival leader as well? Because my next question is really about to speak on the experiences of these girls and being repatriated from Mali and then returning to Mali. What exactly is the condition living there, and why is it so alluring to go back? Is it a role of traffickers, being able to convince them, or is it just because you come back and then on your own volition you go back again? Help me make sense of this, please.
Okay, yes, you can call me a survival leader, but I am not from Mali. I came back from Libya. And now let me tell you one crazy thing about this thing. When you talk to girls in Libya or Mali, they do not believe they are victims of human trafficking. I don't know, the system is just so, these traffickers, they are well structured. They are well structured that the system don't even let you know that you are being trafficked. You see them as your own Lord and your personal savior. They provide you everything they want you to want, emphasis on everything they want you to want. There's a way they reprogram this girl's mind to just, they bring down their self-esteem, and they just program their mind to make them see that particular person that trafficked them as their Lord and personal savior. So when they come back to Nigeria, one, there's this stigma waiting for them that, oh, she just come back from Mali, she go do a shower, she just come back from Libya, she go do a shower, this, that. There's no welcome moment because there was actually a push factor that pushed these girls out. The push factor is actually still waiting for them. It has not been addressed. So it actually takes this level of determination for girls that come back to stay at home and not go back. So unless their mind is being reprogrammed, the push factors that actually sent them away the first time is being addressed, they will always go back. Most of these people, they come back with nothing. When they are repatriated from prison and brought back home, they are back with nothing. Yes, okay, the Nigerian government or IOM or anybody might want to set them up with business. But first, are these girls capable of running this business? I mean, these are people that are addicted to drugs. They've been locked up in a place for a very long time. Everything is they're just starting afresh. And the first thing you're telling them to do is run a business. Some are actually coming with a baby. I mean, these girls are young. They are not even equipped for motherhood. You want them to raise that child and still run a business in a hostile environment. How does it work? It can't work. So the only thing they can still do is to go back to that trafficker that's been providing them with everything they think they need. It is very simple, even though it looks complicated, but it's actually very simple. Before you bring these girls back, please let there be a structure for them that will enable them to stay in a friendly environment.
Oyiza, I have
Look at
so
the
many
houses.
questions.
It's not in a conducive place.
Oyiza, I have so many questions to ask. First off, please, if you can answer these questions successively with very short answers so that we can get to the end of it. First of all, what is the average, what's the range of age of these girls that are trafficked?
Currently, we've spoken to girls of about 12 years, 13 years. So we'll say they start from about 12 to 22.
And how much does it cost for an individual to engage anyone, a trafficker in this case, on this journey?
From Nigeria to Libya should be around 500,000. From Nigeria to Mali should be around 3,000, 400,000.
Naira.
Naira, yes, in Naira.
Okay. So upon getting to these locations, what are they met with? Are they given a facility to stay? Because I hear you say that they end up in prisons, in jail. So what happens in between when they get to the country, when they land in the country, and when they get into jail? What are they doing within that period? What are they trafficked for, I guess I'm asking?
Okay, some are used for forced labor. They allow them to go work for a family while they pay the traffickers. They pay for about 1 year, 2 years, while some are just sold into prostitution ring immediately. They give them a specific amount of money to pay, and they have to work and pay it back. So, you know, they do not have documents. So chances that they'll be arrested by the police is high. And so whenever they're arrested, they're just moved to prison.
So why would anybody's auntie, and I'm asking this because you made a reference to aunts sending their nieces over, why would anybody's auntie send a niece over? Are they getting back any kind of funds from the traffickers themselves?
Oh, yes. To get a girl from Nigeria, these traffickers pay the people they call agents 50,000 naira per girl. So all these aunties, street brothers, church leaders, religious leaders, friends, they get 50,000 on each girl.
Wow.
And lastly, my final question for you, what would be your call to the Nigerian government, to the organization? What would be your call to break this cycle? I don't think preventing is the word. It's breaking this cycle once and for all. How should they go about this?
Okay, I have been a survivor leader officially for about 3 years, and I can tell you categorically that human trafficking can be curbed. Like we've seen results. It is practical. So I believe survivor inclusion, they have to work with survivor leaders to first understand what is going on. And the only trend of irregular migration is not one. There are different ways people can be trafficked. We've counted about 13 ways. So we have to actually explore all these ways and create a campaign, social media awareness, door-to-door awareness, going to villages and create a strategy to campaign and reach people so that they don't ignorantly fall into this trap. So they are trying their best, but they are not doing enough. The policies are not favoring us. They are not favoring these girls. So there has to be a review of all the policies, working with survivor leaders, and they have to just do more. They need to prevent these people from leaving. That is actually one of the best ways to get results.
Oyiza, I must say thank you. You have been sublime today, and thank you for sharing your experience with us and being so bold and brave and wonderful this morning. We appreciate you for doing this with us. Oyiza Yakubu, she's Executive Director, Luna Foundation, giving us a bit of insight on illegal migration and human trafficking in Nigeria to Libya and Mali. Once again, many thanks.